Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Double RPG here, and welcome back to Double RPG Livestream with The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 on the PC. In the previous episode, we finished up within the Twin Dragons Bridge and made our way toward what was known as, what is the 4th Armored Division's resistance camp in the Garrelia Fortress, or near the Garrelia Fortress, or what remains of the Garrelia Fortress. And we made our way back over to the village of Ymir before we head out to our next destination, which is the Nord Highlands. And we got to meet up with all of our classmates that are at the Nord Highlands as of right now. So this time around, we are actually going to resume where we left off, and we are going to locate... well, we are not going to locate any more class members since we pretty much all got them under our belt now, but we are actually going to look and see what we can do to try to help out both those who are suffering within the area of Nordic, within the area of Nord, as well as help the Imperial Army go up against the Noble Alliance from that location as well. And before I get started, I also want to make a mention too. If you want to be notified of whenever I go live with my live streams again, then be sure you follow me on Facebook and Twitch. I'll put the links in the description right here, so that way you'll be notified whenever I go live with my live streams, which is something that I made perfectly clear yesterday at the end of my playthrough for this episode of Trails of Cold Steel 2. So if anything, yes, be sure you follow me on the links that I'm putting on in the chat right about now. So, and when you hit that follow button, that way you'll be notified whenever I go live. So that ought to make it easier for all of you. So that way you'll know exactly when to get the news and when I go live and all that other good stuff. So, all right. So with all that said, done, and out of the way, I think it's time for us to load up the game, and we will actually go see what all we can do in Nord today. And if anything, we are probably going to spend a little bit of time of grinding a little bit, since we did seem to skip mostly of that within the land of Nord by the time we got there. So this time around, we are going to spend some time with more on fighting enemies, and we can actually get more experience points for our characters. So yeah, think of it as more of a catch-up type of stream that I'm having to go through today, so that ought to be really fun. And before I forget, I better put on my headphones so that way I can hear the gameplay from my headset. Anyways. Let's get all this fun and good stuff taken care of. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. I know I am. And definitely always looking forward to play some more of this game. And it looks like we got ourselves a new still image of some of our, more of our comrades who are joining us, and we're within the land of Ymir. But we're not exactly there, but in the actual gameplay, we're actually in the Highlands of Nord. And we're at Lake, where are we at? The place that we're at? What is this place? It's some type of lake. Yeah, it's some type of lake. Lake Lacrimisa, or whatever it's called. But yes, this is where the tribe of the those who are within the nomadic tribe here in Nord Highlands, who we met in the first Trails of Cold Steel, as well as some of the other people, like our members of Class 7. That are here, as well as some other great people like Gwen Reinford, Elisa's grandfather, and all that. They are being stationed here, so that way they get away from all the chaos and anarchy that is happening within this place. So, yes. And here we can stay at a lodging in case if we need to sleep and all that. And of course, this is where the females stay, and this is where we stayed when it was just me and Eustace during our first time here in the land of Nord in the first game. Okay, so, we're gonna see if Elisa and Milliam have weapons that we can get for them, and this is the settlement, the doctor's home, but we don't need to go in it right now. Is this the one? Lake Lacrima, that's what it is. Lacrimosa, I was actually thinking of, Ys 8 of all games, so I was like, why did I even think of that? Okay, here's the trading post. So, let's see if there's... Oh, they already got their things equipped. So, If anything, I probably should be looking for an upgrade shop, and I think I'll find that at the Elder's Home. And the Elder's Home, I think we do need to visit, because we will actually get more of our tasks and all that, and there is somebody that we could talk to, at least. So, anyway, customize weapons. Customize. Let's get the Simple Bow 2 +1 up for Elisa, as well as Sturdy Arm 2 +1 for Milliam. Okay, everybody's set now, and let's see what the tasks are all about. Go ahead and talk to him within the Elder's place. Elder Ivan, moving north will require quite a bit of preparation, that of which we're all working on at the moment. I wish we could do more to aid you. Not at all. It was only thanks to everyone here that we could come together like this again. You've done more than enough. And hey there, Lord Doom. Good to see. It's good to see that you're in the stream too. I saw that you were in the finale of El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron earlier with me and Fighter Cow, so hopefully you'll enjoy your time watching me play some more Trails of Cold Steel 2. But then again, I don't think I've had you in for a stream of this game as of yet, since I usually see you in some of the other streams as well. But hey, you made perfect timing here to come and watch me. Really appreciate it. We really do appreciate all you've done for us during our stay. If anything, we're the ones who should be trying to return the favor. Actually, is there something we can help out with? I was under the impression that you had somewhere you needed to go. At least that was what Lacan told me. He said that you and your classmates had something that only you could do. It seems like Lacan is keeping what we're doing a secret to avoid worrying him. So it does. Sure, but we can help you out too. Multitasking ain't nothing for the likes of Class 7. Yeah, you go, girl. You go, Milliam. Yeah, it's kind of our thing. Always has been. Perhaps so. You seem to have a good understanding of your own limits. If you would, allow me to take you up on your kindness. These are the tasks I have that I would appreciate some help on. Alright, so we received 2 requests from Elder Ivan, and they seem to be not mandatory right now, but they are optional ones. And this is from Lacan, and our payment is 1,500 Mira for this task. It appears that Jaegers have unleashed military monsters in the Northern Highlands. While they've likely done so to disrupt the 3rd Armored Division, there are so many that they've already damaged the settlement. They need to be eliminated. I would like your help doing so. Please report your success to Elder Ivan, as I will be out patrolling. Lacan. So in the Northern Highlands. So they're going to be out in the Northern Highlands, which we're going to be going into next. And foaling around. And this is from Sheeta, one of Lacan's kids and one of Gaius's siblings. One of our settlement-born foals has gone missing. Assuming nothing has happened to him, he should still be somewhere on the highlands, but who knows for how long. Would someone be willing to look for him? If so, please come speak to me. I'm usually taking care of the sheep in the settlement. Sheeta. Okay. So yeah, these are optional tasks on hand, because the red ones, they are the mandatory ones to progress the chapter. Defeating military monsters and finding a lost foal. That sounds right up our alley. Yeah, I'd like to do both if possible. If we're going to do these, we better do them before going to the watchtower. Right, we've got our assignments, let's get to it. Tally-ho! Tally-ho like the dwarves in Final Fantasy IV. Whereas in Final Fantasy IX, they say rally-ho. Or do they say rally-ho in Final Fantasy IV as well? I'm not even certain. Anyway, talk to Lacan here. We believe there are 3 groups of military monsters roaming the northern parts of the Highlands right now. I've been trying to take care of them myself where possible, but it feels like for every one I slay, 2 take its place. Should you find any of them, I would appreciate it if you would take care of them for us. You have my thanks. Alright, so we got our first glimpse of our task right there, and now we need to go talk to Sheeta, which she is over by the sheep in the pasture. Yep, there she is. Right over there. Nice little Sheeta. She is the second youngest. I mean, she's not the youngest, but she's older than the other one. Or is that her? Oh, I don't know. Oh, hello. Can I help you? We're fine. Actually, I believe we're the ones who can help you. We heard a foal has gone missing. Oh, you came about that? Yes, he's only about 2 months old. He was born not long before the war broke out. But we lost sight of him while moving the settlement, and we haven't seen any sign of him since. That's definitely worrying. Oh yeah, you better believe it. Yeah, it is. And even Gaius agrees. He's probably fine, though. Horses are intelligent animals, even at that age. I hope so, too. But still, I just wish I kept a closer eye on him. Oh, Sheeta, there's no way you could have known this would happen. Well, I can't blame you for being worried. I know you're all really busy right now, but would you be able to help me look for him, even a little? Any help at all would be great. Offer to help. Alright, we understand. Don't worry, if he's still out there, we'll find him. Hey, thank you so much! I haven't got any clue as to where he could be, though. The Highlands are so vast, you're going to need something to go on. Yeah, that would be helpful. I know. If we just get Lammy to give us a bit of a hand. No, Lammy. We're trying to find a horse, not help the Alliance to find us. If only we had an orbital car or something to get around in. Oh, hold on a minute. I'd forgotten all about that, but when we went out with Grandfather earlier, I saw a horse. It was about the time we reached the northeastern area of the Highlands. It was so small. I thought it was just my imagination, but if it wasn't... You sure about this? Pretty sure. Pretty sure, yeah. I might have tried to brush it off as just my imagination, but thinking back, it couldn't have been. And thank you for hosting, 16-Bit Jeff. Greatly appreciate it, man. That might have been him. It's worth a shot, at any rate. Guess our first point of interest decided. Right, let's go. Alright, fooling around started. And, let's go, actually take care of... Let's actually go take care of the ones that are actually roaming about the Highlands, the military monsters within the northern part of the Highlands, because that is the one that's closest to us, and the only area that we have not yet explored so much of in this game quite yet. So, yeah. We're gonna check out the... we better, let's get our horse. And, hi-ho! Horse! And, of course, as I said today, we're gonna be taking care of some of the monsters that are, roaming around here. So this actually should be... great timing for us to actually get some grinding in, because we do need to grind for all it's worth. And Reen, did I just see that you missed out on actually hurting that poor old marmoset? Or those sheep monkeys or whatever they are? Sheep koalas? I couldn't even imagine what the name of those things would be.
We really earned this one.
But hey, I like it. We did 9 times overkill. So that should give us a lot of experience. Yes, it does. Oh boy. And Elliot and Machias, they got themselves both to level 56.
I did it.
And Reen still needs some time to catch up too. But we do need to go around finding those military monsters within the northern part. But yeah, oh, we got a single advantage, so single advantage is better than no advantage at all, I must say so myself. Oh, Gaius, how could you miss? Nice critical. Alright, overkill. And I know one thing that I did not do that much while actually fighting off against most of these enemies is that I did not swap between characters.
I go where the wind takes me.
Well, when I was playing the first game, so I think that's something that I'm going to be doing quite intently within this game going forward, because we do need to actually, you know, have the other characters fight as much as, you know, most of the others too. So in between times, I will be swapping between many others as well, you know, Elliot and Machias as well as Toval, make them take place of some of the others, like maybe Milliam and Gaius, if we decide to. But yeah, I'll try to make that more of a habit often in this playthrough. Righto, mate. Okay, let's swap with Elliot. Very good. Double teamed, yes. Double teamed quite a lot there. And it's a good thing that we actually do that, you know, that character swapping during this playthrough, because that's going to help us in case we're in a really tight pinch when fighting off against some of the foes that are hanging about here. Are we gonna find any of the military monsters out here in the open? No, we should be able to. We just gotta find them. Yep, we didn't get any single advantages or whatnot. Actually, Elisa, why don't you use Judgment Arrow on all of them and see how you have improved? Oh, and she does a Sero Beam from her arrows. Who would have thought?
We made it out in one piece.
Made it out in one piece? No! One Piece is in its own manga! Unless if you mean that we made it out okay, then yeah, that's totally fine. Alright, now we got Reen to level 56. And before long, we're going to be seeing our characters' levels get up, or our characters' hit points hit above the 10,000 mark, which I think Gaius is already within that threshold. I think. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Bring it on. Right.
Okay. Actually, do a 7th Rhapsody on these guys there, Elliot. Play music and make your father proud. And we'll just... Oh... Just ever so grovel at the pretty colors. They just look so pretty. The colors of the rainbow to represent the elements of the Septium. Or the Sepiths.
Oh, we did it.
One thing I like about this game. Eye candy. If it's presented well. Eye candy can be presented well, not like that, though, when you have a horse's butt just staring at us, but eye candy in this game can actually be presented well, unless if it's, you know, treated very properly. Like, if you want a good example of eye candy, then take a look at something like a game like the Bayonetta games from Platinum Games, or even the Devil May Cry series, for that matter. And we're gonna fight a bunch of tortoises today. A Zortis. That's kind of a funny name for a tortoise monster. See if we can try to get a couple more bravery points, so that way we can actually do, you know, a quadruple team to do overkill damage on all of them. Pretty good so far. Nope. Can we? Nope. Wishful thinking. Oh, Reen! Reen! No, man. Come on, get your butt up. No sleeping on the job, mister. Anyway, okay, mint drop. No sleeping on the job.
Thanks.
Get up. Get your butt up. There we go. Burst them. Burst all of them. Boy, overkill up the wazoo. I love it. Yeah, and I didn't even know about this when I was playing the first game, but Milliam is actually voiced by Ashley Birch, who voices Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, as well as starring in her own web series, Hey Ash, What You Playin'? Oh, hey, we got a few characters to level up, and we did get some pretty good experience out of that, too.
I did it!
I think we made a good choice to actually grind our characters a little bit.
Yes! Looking good.
Nobody's above the threshold. Your comment about characters' HP past the 10,000 threshold made me think of World of Warcraft during the Burning Crusade. People were going nuts because back then, warlocks as a cloth class could get their HP that high. The only other classes that could do that were tanks, of course. Well, yeah. I mean, for a game like World of Warcraft, oh yeah, definitely.
That's a fine looking treasure chest.
I mean, it seems to be a more common thing nowadays for games where a character's hit points can actually go above the threshold of 10,000. Even Final Fantasy is more prone to do that these days. Because it seemed like it was either, like, the norm was either, like, 999 or 9,999. But with games like Star Ocean, I mean, the more recent Star Ocean games going past that threshold, or both those thresholds, it just seems like how many more hit points can it come to games where they actually could go past even 99,999. But then again, of course, Final Fantasy X managed to do that, unless if you were able to cheat that way, somewhat. That looks like one of the military monsters Dad asked us to take care of. It sure does. And judging by their request, it's not the only one we're going to find in the Highlands. Let's take them out whenever we see them. We can't let them do any more damage to the settlement. There we go.
This one looks strong.
Here I go.
Yeah, they look strong, but nothing we can't defeat, so these are Galleon Cougars. And you had a Warlock main back then, now he's just an alt, sadly. Well, don't worry, at least you managed to have, something. If anything, I think anybody who plays World of Warcraft, they're very fortunate to play as a Warlock because they seemed like to be the most OP class in anything that Blizzard put out. That, as well as Diablo, the Diablo series, rather. Which, speaking of which, I am looking forward to Diablo 3 on the Nintendo Switch when that comes out.
I'm so glad. Look at me go!
Defeated the military monster, so we had to defeat a few more within the northern part. But for me personally, Lord Doom, I haven't really been that heavily interested in World of War. I mean, I did play World of Warcraft a couple times in my life, but to be quite frank, it really wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but it just... I mean, I really did appreciate how the game managed to actually reinvigorate the MMORPG genre in a more modern age, but it didn't really hold my attention quite as much. I mean, the only one that actually, and ironically, managed to hold my attention, even as of right now, was Final Fantasy XI Online, and that was when I was doing the Final Fantasy retrospective for Final Fantasy XI Online. And yeah, Warlocks were OP for a long time in vanilla, especially in PvP. They were the only class back then that could get straight to kill people in duels. Their TPs was just that high. Oh, definitely. Even I remember that too.
Enemies ahead. We'll have to fight. Let's move.
But yeah, it's just the only MMORPG I managed to get myself heavily into, even though I did not go all the way through it, was Final Fantasy XI Online, and that's because of all the things like having having those familiars or whatever, or the clones of characters you met in the game actually be amongst your party to help go up against monsters more easily. And that was a really great benefit in these more modern times, you know, just to get through a hard game like that. And honestly, if that did not occur for me when playing Final Fantasy XI Online, when I was working on episode 11 or episode 8 of the Final Fantasy retrospective, then that game would probably take me a long time to actually do a retrospective episode on. But now it seems like that crown jewel has gone over to that Final Fantasy XII, or all games related to Ivalice, because it seems like things are taking a lot more longer for me to actually beat than try to, you know, get done. And I really hope that's not the case much longer, but anything could go wrong, or go awry, rather. Ouch. I forgot how bad these guys burn us to a crisp. And they have the ability to where they can actually leave burn marks on us, so someone's gonna have to heal somebody. God. Yes, I know you're going to burn me. So, But, yeah, hopefully with Final Fantasy XIV, hopefully I'll get into that at some point, but, or hopefully I'll get more into that whenever that time comes. But, of course, I have to get into, I remember 11 having blue mages as a class, which is my favorite class in Final Fantasy. Oh yeah, blue mages. They're actually pretty cool classes to have, where they can actually make it to where you can learn enemies' abilities and all that good stuff. Now, honestly, I did not play as a blue... To be frank, I did not play a blue mage when I was playing Final Fantasy XI Online. If anything, I was playing as just mainly a melee-type class like a knight, or Dark Knight was what really got me into, you know, playing Final Fantasy XI Online really much, because of just how ridiculously strong they are as a class.
Thanks.
I just can't remember the name of what that term was, where you can have members of your party, or you can summon people to where you could actually have them be party members. I know they had a very interesting name to them, but I just can't remember what it was. Jesus. What's up with these guys? Thank you. Azure Flame slash these guys, and let's get this battle over with. I mean, they weren't called familiars, and they weren't called, like, dolls or anything like that. I know that they... God, like, that name escapes me right now. I'll have to watch the episode 8 of my Final Fantasy retrospective so I can, you know, get a... You know, so I can get a good idea as to what they were called again. Dark Knights are cool there in 14, but as a 10 class, and I usually stick to DPS, so I probably will end up playing a Samurai late game. Yeah, there are some of the classes in Stormblood that I actually want to try out, like Samurai, as you said. And Stormblood is one that I want to heavily get into because of it, you know, being in relation to the realm of Ivalice. And I hope that's going to be a lot of fun whenever I get to that. Because the storyline for A Legend Reborn, or the Return of Ivalice storyline, it actually takes place after the events of Final Fantasy Tactics, and it has the and it does have the storyteller Araslam J. Durai actually as one of the characters in that storyline. And Araslam J. Durai is the main narrator for Final Fantasy Tactics and Vagrant Story. Don't mess with us, or don't mess with the best and get squashed like a pest. From what you read about Samurai, you can't just make one. You have to bring another class up to a certain level first. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, too. And even Final Fantasy XI Online did that as well, where you had to bring certain classes up to a certain level, so that way you can actually make certain jobs accessible. But then again, Final Fantasy XI Online actually played more like Final Fantasy III with how you can actually level up your classes and all that. It's like every class for your character actually treated itself as its own character, if that makes any sense. So your character could play all the classes, and the thing is that they can level up to 99. If you started at level 1 for a particular class, then like all your hit points go back down to what they would be at if you were at a level 1 character for that specific class. So yeah, that game had a steep learning curve for what it was.
Yes, sir.
Oh, how could you sleep?
Right.
And there are certain other factors that came into play with the later expansions too, like oh boy, I think it was during the time with either Treasures of Ot Urgen or that of the Wings of Goddess, where you had to get like the certain special pieces of armor for being in something. I think they were like something that predated raids or somewhere along those lines. I can't remember the exact name. Like I said, there's a lot about Final Fantasy XI I don't remember. But then again, right before playing Final Fantasy XI Online, I wasn't really that heavily into that game beforehand. I'm kind of on the fence about the idea. On one hand, I like how they want to make sure you understand the basics of the game before you play an advanced class. On the other hand, though, I want my samurai now. Well, yeah, if anything, anybody would want that there, Lord Doom. I totally can relate with you on that. I mean, I was kind of on the same fence, too, when I was playing through most of the game. Because there were certain classes that I actually wanted to get my hands on when I was playing, well, at least when I was playing Final Fantasy XI Online, and then all of a sudden I wasn't really getting what I wanted because I needed to abide by the game's restrictions. And even certain abilities, and like, I mean, just the idea of like getting a level up, or leveling up your character's class by at least 30 levels in that game, just to get an advanced class, even that was, you know, stretching it. It's like, I wanted to play those certain classes like Dark Knight and Paladin right away, but the game wouldn't even allow you to, and I really thought that Paladins would be good for the Gulka class, but Paladins are actually good for the Elvan race, which were the elves in Final Fantasy XI. Yeah, and when I did the Final Fantasy XI retrospective video, I was actually, my main character was actually a Gulka, and I named him Mulzgus, Mulzgus. You know, just to give it that fantasy feeling, or, you know, that type of feeling that you want to, you know, give your character a very unique and intricate name, so that way, you know, you can name him what you want.
I can do this.
I bet you can. I don't know what I'm going to call my character whenever I get to Final Fantasy XIV Online. But Final Fantasy XIV Online, that's going to be a really doozy, a real doozy to actually get into, because for one, version 1.0 no longer exists because everything starts off with A Realm Reborn, and then you work your way up with Heaven's Word, and then Stormblood after that. And you know, I'm actually really surprised we haven't even heard anything new about the next expansion. But then again, I'm sure that Naoki Yoshida actually wants to work on a lot for Stormblood before thinking about a third expansion at this time. But there's a lot of stuff in Stormblood to keep everybody busy too, so if anything, that's good for everybody, so that way they can actually, you know, stay intact with that game for a while, or that expansion for a while at least. But if anything, we could pretty much agree that Final Fantasy XIV should just be called Final Fantasy Theme Park, or like, it's an actual theme park that you would go to if you went to somewhere like, I don't know, Disneyland, Disney World, or Universal Studios, Six Flags, that kind of stuff. It just makes sense. Abekua! About time I got a strike in. Seriously. There we go. Game's awfully being generous with actually giving me the, I just hope they add Blue Mage class at some point, although I can see how they easily become the most OP class. Oh yeah, with the Blue Mage class, some of the abilities that they have are extremely ridiculously overpowered too.
Hang in there.
Thanks.
Here I go. There. No more chance.
Man, this game's being generous and giving me those strikes that I heavily needed.
No problem.
Alright, got them.
That takes care of them.
And Machias got the level up to 58 that time.
Exactly how it should
Exactly how it should be. You got that right, my boy. This is the peace that all heroes strive for. If you know what I mean.
Bring it on.
Here I go.
Bring it on, I say. Let's show them a little, what a little Azure Flame can actually do to these guys. If they do add him, I hope they find a way to balance them without ruining the class. I'm looking at you, Kimari. Oh, yes! Imagine if the Blue Mage class actually had the Lancet ability to actually absorb an enemy's hit points just to learn their special abilities. Oh, boy.
I've got it.
I remember, you know, getting into Final Fantasy X quite intently when I was doing the Final Fantasy retrospective on that episode in 10-2. Or on that game with 10-2. So, yeah.
Oh, that one looks tough. This'll be fun.
Let's move.
Fighting these things. Oh, it's our good friend, Hippogriff.
It's my turn.
Hippogriff shouldn't really be that tough.
Got you.
Here I go.
Yeah, Hippogriff's really not that tough. It seems like all the enemies are not that tough now, since we have really strong attack power. They just go, oh, you can learn enemy skills, but you can only use them if you fill this meter. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the equivalent of older Final Fantasy games, for that matter.
We did it, Elisa.
We really do make a great team.
What I meant was games like Final Fantasy IX or even Final Fantasy Tactics, when it comes to, you know, having like the job point system take effect. And a spiritual presence that's emanating from the chest, and Elisa and Milliam are the only combatants for this. So let's go ahead and open up the trial chest.
Well, shall we begin? No problem.
Oh boy.
Now. Gotcha. Here I go.
Oh boy. We can get a good Geigen breaker on these guys, for sure. I mean, in order to learn those special abilities, then you would have to fight to get fight enemies to get so many ability points, so that way you can learn those abilities. So I could definitely see where, you know, that sort of fashion would come into play for a Blue Mage class, or any class for that matter, that you bring up there.
I can do this.
Lord Doom. Sorry, your name escaped me there for a second, and I do apologize. Don't give her an Hellfire Barbecue. What's wrong with you? You're gonna make it harder for us to actually keep her alive. You know that?
Yes, sir.
Fine. I'll do Judgment Arrow on you, and then I'm pretty much gonna have to have Milliam actually heal you from all your pain and sorrow there. Well, hey, it was good. But, I better heal you really fast. You're about to fall down, sweetie pie. No Hellfire Barbecues!
Here I go.
You are dumb for doing that.
I can do this.
Ouch, now we're all in Hellfire mode. No, we don't want to do that. We'll take it on with a few more... Oh! Oh, please make this count. Please make this count, Milliam. Yes! Got it! Good riddance to that thing. And when I go through those blue chests, that means the overdrive mechanic for certain characters will actually come into effect.
You didn't stand a chance.
So for Milliam and Elisa, that is definitely the case here. Overcame the trial. Elisa and Milliam can now use Overdrive when linked with one another. And Elisa and Milliam's bond strengthened for that matter, too. There we go. And Elisa learns Cheer, whereas Milliam learned Counterattack. And HP and EP were fully restored, and that also fully restores for our other characters who did not participate, too. So, just a little FYI for those of you who don't even know about that certain mechanic. I actually think it's a pretty cool mechanic, too, if you ask me. So, yeah, so the week of September, you know, that starts with September 23rd, makes me wonder if there's actually a big game that's coming out this week. Because if there is, then it really escapes from the tip of my tongue. Burst them! It's nice that you get a full heal after. Oh, yeah. I mean, there are some points where this game can be uberly generous.
We really earned that one.
Oh, man. We did earn that one? I'd say it was a privilege to earn that.
Great.
All right. And looks like Green's about to be the first one to hit that threshold, too.
Goodness. Look at me go!
And Milliam also learned Sledge Impact, and it's an extra large type of area attack, and it can cause balance down and move by less move by 50% for 3 turns, and it turns Ergetlem into a hammer, which can cause a 10% unbalance for that matter too. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, it's also pretty cool how this game, you know, can be generous at times to automatically heal you if you're in a really tight pinch. Like this, for example. Well, I wouldn't say this, for example, but I would say rather, you know, for like when you level up your characters. But then again, this is more of the modern times being more prone to actually be forgiving to help out, you know, people who are not really big into video games. And honestly, I kind of find that to be somewhat annoying, but at the same time, I can also see it being a blessing. If this were Dark Souls, you get a smack to the face instead of a heal. Yep, that's exactly true about Dark Souls. And speaking of Dark Souls, I heard that that Dark Souls on the Nintendo Switch, its online functionalities were actually pretty... Well, I wouldn't say its online functionalities, but its performance on the Nintendo Switch is actually really good. So that is enough for people to raise some good eyebrows for them to actually... What's with the misses? Fine. I didn't want to have to use it. So, yeah. And when I say by the stability or the performance of the Nintendo Switch version of Dark Souls Remastered, this comes from the network test that arrived not too long ago. So so think of it kind of like, you know, an online beta for fighting games, if you want to actually go by that comparison.
Is everybody okay?
So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for that game to play on the Nintendo Switch, then definitely by all means, that ought to be a good thing of reassurance toward any of you who are kind of on the fence about that. I mean, I was kind of on the fence about it, but me personally, I'm just actually looking forward to more of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, or yes, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is coming out on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and PC not too long from now, you know, which is From Software's next game they're working on after you know, the Dark Souls games. And honestly, that game that they're working on, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, it was actually originally supposed to be either a reboot or a brand new Tenchu game. And honestly, I would have preferred a new Tenchu game, but making it into a new IP, either that's going to be, you know, it's either going to make or break it.
We really do make a great team.
So, it's more of a crapshoot at this point, if you ask me, whether or not if it actually manages to do well as a brand new IP. But if anything, I would have loved it if it retained its name Tenchu. Because I do love me the Tenchu games. They're really fun. You say that looks tough, but it'll be fun. Can you... Reen. Stop with the missing! Elisa! Stop with the missing! That's actually pushing me toward buying a Switch. Don't have one yet. Sekiro is a game I'm hyped for, and I can't wait to see the Tenchu in it. Oh yeah. It's gonna be very interesting to see how that game plays out.
Now's our chance.
Alright, gotcha. Seriously. Guy can break her, you guys. And, yeah, Sekiro is one that I'm actually looking forward to picking up, too, as well. Lord Doom. And for it to be published by Activision, it's definitely reminding me of the first 3 Tenchu games that were put out in the United States by Activision, believe it or not. Tenchu 1, Tenchu 2, Birth of the Stealth Assassins, and Tenchu 3, The Wrath of Heaven. And Tenchu 3, The Wrath of Heaven is definitely my all-time favorite game in the franchise. And a lot of people's, too, understandably, as well. Alright, Toval got to 59. When you saw the grappling mechanic, I actually said to my fiancé, that looks a lot like Tenchu. Yeah, even I said that to myself too. Well, of course I don't have a fiancé or anything like that, but when I was watching that trailer during E3 when you saw... And... yeah, at E3, when they showed the grappling and all that stuff, it's like, hey, wait a minute, this actually is more like a Tenchu game than anything. And then when we found out that it was when the Geek Fighters and I, we found out that it was originally supposed to be a Tenchu game, we're like, ah, now it makes sense. How about we swap with Machias?
Can you handle this? No problem.
Let's get Ultimate Shot in. You can pump lead into their stomachs there, Machias. But still, I would have loved it for Sekiro to remain as Tenchu. But then again, sometimes we just need new IPs to actually keep, just to maintain growth within the gaming industry, right?
All right, let's keep moving.
I know I want to see that. Like Dark Souls with shades of Tenchu. Yeah, with shades of Tenchu, definitely. Dark Souls, for that matter. But then again...
Let's take 'em out.
honestly, I kind of find it to be a bit hypocritical, in a sense that people like to compare Dark Souls... I mean, any hard game to Dark Souls, and it's like... you know there's more to Dark Souls than meets the eye, right? Didn't I have one for... I guess for one character only. It would be a good one. Zerum Capsule. Probably for Reen. Take care of a lot of them. Yeah, we'll take care of this lot, and then we'll take care of the last one. But yeah, it's like whenever Cuphead came out on the Xbox One and PC, when people were talking about it, you know, giving it all the attention it deserves, and quite rightfully so, a lot of people were making comparisons, or comparing that game to the Dark Souls game. So I'm like, you know, there's a lot of other games that you can compare to aside from just the Souls series. The Dark Souls games. I mean, there is a good chance. I mean, there is a good way to enjoy the Dark Souls games for that challenge factor, because it does harken back to the time when games were actually really hard within the NES and Sega Genesis era. And that's definitely understandable too, Lord Doom, but I'm just saying that in this day and age, they really should be making more comparisons to that of the old days instead of just looking what's at present. Because, if anything, they really should be comparing something like Cuphead to the original Contra, or even Contra 3, the Alien Wars, for that matter. And if you want to compare Dark Souls to something, then compare it to Battletoads. Know what I mean? And even with Battletoads, that game was hard as balls, but still a very rewarding experience, even if you could beat the game with or without the Game Genie. Oh, look, it's a turtle that we took down.
Gotcha. No problem. Fire.
Leave this to me. Take this. Now's our chance.
Rush it. No. Oh, crap, I didn't want to do that. But hey, it missed us. So that's all good.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
Like, if you learn the games, then you fail less. I'm looking to a certain streamer whose names start with a D. Oh, are you talking about the guy that everybody hates who... says that... who's really bad at all games and doesn't know how to play games, but he just only is failing because he wants to get the views, and his first name is actually starts with a P and an H? Oh, yeah, I knew it. That guy again. Ugh. I mean, if my friend Levy the Amishman was in the call, he'd probably say, "Oh, that guy, huh?"
Bring it on.
Ugh.
Let's move.
Yep, he's gonna start making a stink whenever he gets to Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Because of just how brutally difficult that game's going to be. I mean, if there's a game that played in the vein of Souls that I actually really liked, that was more my cup of tea, then it was Nioh by Koei Tecmo Games and Team Ninja. Looking Glass Knight is my favorite thing he ever put out.
Got my eye on the prize.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Darkside Phil, you can never trust him to be a very competent individual.
Stay calm. We can get through this. Here I go. Ha!
No problem. Now.
Got you. Right.
Pump lead!
They're off balance.
And then pump lead again! Yes! That boss completely owned his entire being.
You've grown up right before my eyes, Machias.
You do know you're younger than me, right?
Oh, man. Milliam? Complimenting on Machias when she's younger than he is? Man. That boss completely owned his entire being. Everything owns his entire being. I mean, seriously. Why do you think they call him, like, the worst gamer ever? Like how in the game you have people using swords and magic, and then a guy with a gun. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that one looks tough. This'll be fun.
Let's move.
Oh, we'll take care of them. They're none the worse for wear. But if anything, I would like to see Darkside Phil actually take on Deadly Towers on the NES and see how much that will completely destroy his whole being too, seeing how really bad that game is. Or else I like to see any game that he plays destroy his entire being. If you know what I mean. Woo, that's the third group down. I can't sense any more either. I think our work is done. That means the Highlands will be a lot more peaceful now, right? I can only hope so. You guys ready to head back to the settlement so we can give our report? Yeah, I'm sure he'll want to know as soon as possible. Yeah, I'm definitely certain that Lacan wants to hear every word of our successful exploits out here in the Highlands. If anything, we can actually move to Lake Lacrima. We can move back here, and we can actually give our report to Lacan, for that matter. He should still be over here. Hopefully. If not, dismount. Oh, he's actually inside the Elder's home? Nope. That's just you again. But where is Lacan at? He's not at the pasture. Is he up over at Gwen's cabin? My main problem with his gameplay, and I don't want to belabor the point, but I like to see a streamer or let's player get better at the game as they progress. With him, he's just as bad at the start as he is at the end, and that annoys me slightly. Oh, yeah. Wholeheartedly agree with you there, Lord Doom. With any game, anybody should be getting better, not just, you know, playing a game and just admit that they suck. You know, I kind of had my problem with that too when it came to fighting games, but now that I have a fight stick and, you know, since I stream fighting games on my channel a lot more, I'm actually improving a lot better than I was. Which is, you know, if some of you are wondering if I am going to be getting back to playing more fighting games on my channel, yes, that will come eventually, but just not sure when's the next time I'll actually be playing more Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection or BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle or Dragon Ball FighterZ, or even possibly get into something like Killer Instinct 2013 or Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator. I mean, there are plenty of fighting games that I could actually try out, or there are even some older ones too that could actually give me, or you know, that I actually can give people a lot of attention to. Like, I would say something like, I really don't know. Maybe like the original Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast or Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube. You know, those games. And then there's the whole other shady stuff he's done, but I won't go into that. We'd be here all day. Oh yeah, I don't want to, you know, even talk about that shady crap he pulled off. You know, just for him to get money and all that. It's like, yeah. I think we'll just stop right there when it comes to that. So, yeah. If anything, conversation is done on that with DSP. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's go to notes. Highlands Hunt. It looks like let's go back to report. Oh, report to the Elder. Oh, we have to report to the Elder about this. Okay. But, yeah. But anyway, this week, I really can't... Man, I can't remember anything what big is coming out for this week on any console. I know there was something off the tip of my tongue. If anything, I think it's probably Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Nintendo Switch. But anything else, I can't really think of off the top of my head. You were able to defeat those military monsters, were you? That's wonderful news. We were, although fighting them has just made me all the more concerned about the situation here in the Highlands. It's scary to think a place that was once so peaceful that had those monsters roaming around freely. Scratch had. Those Jaegers are just gonna release more of them eventually. The army over at the gate has it tough, sure. But these things are a real matter of life or death for the people here. I always like Monster Hunter quests and RPGs. It reminds me of the Witcher series, and I love The Witcher. Yeah, I mean, The Witcher is a really great series that a lot of people really enjoy, too. And, you know, that's one that I'm willing to actually give it a try at some point. You know, maybe as like a blind run with my own take on it. But then again, it probably won't be a full playthrough until I get a good rundown of how the whole game is played out. But if anything, I would just, you know, play it as is. Alright, we got that optional quest taken care of, and now we need to go find that baby foal.
Let's get going.
Okay, we want to go to the, want to go here. And we actually want to go to the northeast side, because that's where we found the baby foal at. And boy, this quick jumping between different areas within the Nord Highlands, oh man, it is a godsend for this to happen. If this did not happen to us, or if this was not allowed to us, we would definitely be here within these Highlands all day. I mean, I do like the Highlands for what they look like. As you heard me in my previous play sessions of, you know, the original Trails of Cold Steel and some of the others as well, but going through, like, a certain area way too many times, that can be a bit overkill.
This is our real power.
Alright, more level up for us. And Elisa and Milliam got to 61. Alright.
I'm so glad.
And Mirage Arrow can now be used. And it's a small line, and it can cause blind by 50%, and it fires a magical arrow forwards.
Look at me go!
Looking good.
And even Toval got the level 60. And 2, if just super difficult. Well, just as a tip, the game has changed a lot from 1 and 2, and from 2 to 3. 3 is the best in my opinion. Oh, you mean Monster Hunter... Witcher 3? Oh, yes. A lot of people say that The Witcher 3, or Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt, is actually the best thing that CD Projekt Red has ever created. And that is quite an accomplishment too, and rightfully deserving, and they rightfully deserve that praise with how well that RPG did for you know, how everybody really enjoys it. So, yeah, definitely kudos to them. Let's get Toval some practice in.
My turn.
Oh, Reen, how could you miss?
I can do this.
And a lot of people are probably going to wonder, what am I going to play this coming week? Well, chances are I probably will be doing a live stream tomorrow morning after I get off work tomorrow. But the game I'm probably going to be playing at that time is probably me returning to Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, so I can finally get on with... Well, then again, Street Fighter Second Impact, it's more of an expansion to that of the first game, because when I first played it, there wasn't really that much of a difference between that game and Street Fighter 3 New Generation. So I might return back to Street Fighter Alpha 3 and you know, do a second set of casual matches and maybe play some online from there. Quit missing these guys! Jeez! There you go, Toval.
Here I go.
Thank you, my god. Seriously, enough's enough with the missing.
Did it, Elisa.
We really do make a great team.
Oh yeah, Witcher 3 is definitely a long game too. I mean, this is even a long game if you go through it in one full setting. I mean, when I played the first Trails of Cold Steel, that took me about maybe 75 to 80 hours to beat the first time around. And when I was playing Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, so that way I would work on, you know, this current episode of the Final Fantasy Retrospective, that took me about, I would say, 90 hours to complete. And with Final Fantasy X HD, that took me about near 110 hours to fully complete and beat all the side quests, so that way I can get the Platinum Trophy. So yeah, there was a lot going on with that game that, you know, that got me, you know, really busy just playing it for what it was.
That's that.
Alright, Elliot and Machias got the level up there too.
I did it. Yes.
Yes! I mean, it just seems like we've come to the point where, even though the video games are getting more and more ambitious with their production values these days, that they have to be elongated just to add in some sort of replay value, or even...
Whoa, this terrain is nuts. Tell me about it.
Just any sort of replay value, so that way they can elongate the experience or make it evenly blend between the long segments and, you know, how long the gameplay is. I mean, you know, I can definitely understand that to an extent, but, you know, you really don't need to elongate the story, you know, just to get your point across at times. But unless if you're going to make the story really good in the end, then definitely by all means make sure that you are taking it very seriously for that matter.
Down you go.
I mean, if you want a good game where both story and gameplay are equally balanced, then play Final Fantasy VI. Well, whichever version of that game you decide to play is literally up to you.
We did it, Elisa.
We really do make a great team.
And I kind of wonder what time I'll actually get to Final Fantasy VI. I definitely want to do that for a live stream series again at some point, but who knows when that will be the case.
Well, shall we begin?
Let's move.
All right.
Yeah.
Stormy Croaker.
Righto!
Ready to go.
Or Storm Croaker. Now let's burst him. Yeah. There we go. Overkill. How many overkills?
All right. Good work, you guys.
Oh, close to 2 times experience points, but that's okay. But still, with all these bonuses that we're getting, it's like man, we're just really,
Oh, chest. I wonder what's inside.
you know, kicking butt and taking names of everybody. Oh, golems, golems, golems. Oh, boy. Stone golems. I hate them. These guys were a pain in the previous game, or golems for that matter, with just how ridiculous their defenses were. Yep, Final Fantasy VI was great, and Kefka was definitely the man in that game. Definitely the only main antagonist in a Final Fantasy game who actually managed to accomplish something, but he couldn't even accomplish his second goal. And if you want to know what that second goal was, he was trying to become God. So he couldn't really even do that. And I know a lot of people like to... He was close, but fell short. Yeah, he fell short due to the combined effort of everybody else.
I can do this.
Got through it unscathed. Hey, I like it.
We made it out in one piece.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Look at that experience that we just gained! Oh man! That was pleasing to the eye right there.
I did it. No complaints here.
Yep, he got close but fell short. You know, there's a lot of people who actually like to compare Kefka and Sephiroth, who is the better antagonist, but by all means, when you compare to who actually managed to do what, then Kefka is the one who gets out close. But in terms of popularity, yeah, it's Sephiroth who actually is the more popular type. Or is the one who's the most popular in this day and age. But yeah, as I said, there, Lord Doom, the one who actually is the most menacing, it's definitely Kefka, because he actually, you know, if people actually look into the whole story behind the character, he was the only antagonist in a Final Fantasy game. He's the only one and the only main antagonist in a Final Fantasy game who actually managed to accomplish something, and by that something, I mean, he caused the apocalypse. But yeah, that's what I said about Sephiroth. He's more well-known because he is a more popular character than Kefka. And you know, that's really sad when when there's a game that comes out and it actually is much better than anything else, but when its successor comes out, a lot of people consider that to be the more definitive game. I mean, it's kind of like comparing A Link to the Past to Ocarina of Time. A Link to the Past, in my opinion, is the much better game, but Ocarina of Time is the more popular one. Alright, Toval got to 61 too.
Looking good.
And honestly, I really enjoy A Link to the Past more. This way leads to the Republic. We should turn back now. Yeah, so we can't go to the Calvard Republic from that direction.
Yeah.
Where's this?
Huh? Where's this place go? Doesn't look like a cave at least.
How? Stay sharp, guys. Sure.
Oh, another golem. Fine. We'll give him a good thrashing. But, you know, when it comes to all the Final Fantasy antagonists, it kind of makes me wonder who is probably the most weakest out of all of them. And if you ask me, probably Cloud of Darkness.
No problem.
It's like Cloud of Darkness just came at like the last possible moment in Final Fantasy III if you ever managed to go through that. Yeah, popularity isn't always the best metric to measure how good something is, in your opinion. Just look at how popular Broly was before the new movie was announced. Yeah.
Now that was cool.
Lemmy never disappoints.
I've got it. Exactly how it should be.
And you know, even Fighter Chaos would say the same thing there, Lord Doom. Now, where's this horse?
Yeah.
Is it around here in this section? Could be. I mean, if you ask me who the better villain is in the Dragon Ball universe, then I'd have to say that it's Cell. Perfect Cell. Because, I mean, honestly, Dragon Ball should have ended after the Cell game saga. Because it came to the point where Goku pretty much passed the torch of protecting the planet Earth to his son. And, you know, it just seems like it was completely unnecessary to continue on the story with a character who has to be probably one of the most god-awful villains to a Dragon Ball game in every sense of the word. Or a Dragon Ball, or into an anime, every sense of the word. Because, I mean, Kid Buu, he was the one who destroyed planet Earth, sure, but it's like... But it's like... It was just he was just a mindless, just mindless idiot. I mean, he wasn't that strongest. I mean, he was strong as Cell, but he wasn't that deadly as Cell when it came to strength, because the only thing that Kid Buu was menacing at, or the only thing that made him menacing, was that he had a lot of stamina, and that's why Goku had a hard time trying to keep up with Buu and Kid Buu, as well as everybody else, even Majin Buu, Fat Buu, the more happier tame type. Okay, so I don't see where the horse is. So it's got to be around here somewhere. Got to be near the area where we first were? Could be close to where the statue is. Gohan got done wrong, in my opinion, twice. Got done wrong if you mean by, you know, during the whole entirety of the Buu arc. Yep, that's the first one. And probably... Yeah, Super Buu was better. He was smart enough to know to absorb Piccolo and Gotenks for more strength and intellect. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was a much better villain. If anything, Super Buu should have been like the final villain. I really don't think there should have been a... there really should have been a better villain. I mean, there shouldn't have been another villain after that. But Gohan, you know, got done wrong. First, the entirety of the Buu saga, with him now being much weaker than his father. And I'm pretty sure during the whole Resurrection F story arc. Or if you're talking about the whole baby saga within GT, which, you know, a lot of people, including me, don't even consider GT to be canon. And hopefully when Dragon Ball Super continues after the movie, which hopefully that's going to be the case, hopefully they'll get to the point where they can actually try to improve on a lot of the other characters too, because really, I mean... When it comes to Dragon Ball, it's more than just about Goku. I mean, I would like to see Piccolo rise up to, you know, be as strong as Goku again. The Cell games and the Buu arc. He became the first one to obtain Super Saiyan 2, then stopped training. He gained potential unleashed, then stopped training again. Yep. But then again, if you ask Fighter Kaos about that, he said that it was because of Toriyama. Toriyama was the one who actually made the call to actually make Gohan weak after his big comebacks. And honestly, that is very disheartening. Where's this baby foal at? Gotta be around here somewhere. Not at the tent. Okay. You figure that would be where the foal is, but we don't see any foals around here. And we can't even go inside that place again. Yep. Jeez, where is that? Where is that horse? Let's take a look at the notes. Lisa says she saw a foal in the northeast part of the highlands, not to... Okay, so we'll want to head back to the northeast. And his potential unleashed form is stronger than Super Saiyan 3, which apparently some people still don't know. Oh, yeah. Very wholeheartedly. But if anything, they really should have made Gohan as another candidate to work, to be trained under Whis, so that way he could become Super Saiyan God, and then learn Super Saiyan Blue after that, because obviously they're a lot stronger than Potential Unleashed. And then Gohan could have been the first one to learn Ultra Instinct. There's gotta be a baby foal around here at these parts. But where? We don't know. Not down there, is it? Or it's not over here, is it? Nope. That was wishful thinking. Right now we're looking for a baby foal around this area. Or somewhere around the northeast area. Oh! Why did we not see that before? I thought that was an enemy. Look over there! That's the foal we're looking for, alright. Thank goodness he's okay. It was way easier to find than I thought it'd be, too. Time to go catch him. That's not a good idea. Whoa! There he goes. He's really fast, too. He seems really lively, perhaps too lively. Perhaps he's turned feral? Seriously? I feel stupid for even worrying about him. Well, we can't just leave him to wander the highlands on his own like this. Let's go after him. Righto! But, you know, there was an interesting theory that somebody brought up. That are half Saiyan, half human hybrids a lot stronger than full bloods? And, you know, that really got me thinking. I mean, if Gohan was the first half human, half Saiyan hybrid to actually learn Super Saiyan 2, then it does raise a lot of questions in terms of that angle. But then again, full bloods, they can obtain full power. So I guess there is a certain limit that even half-breeds have to abide by. There he is. Here it goes. Let's see if we can get him this time. Not again! Did he just laugh at us? Horses have excellent memories. He probably remembers outwitting us the previous time and thinks we're fools. That's just rude! I'd say this is a result of him getting separated from people so soon after birth. They obtain power quicker, but since they don't have the same drive to train like full-bloods do, so they get weaker as time goes on. At least that's my headcanon. Oh, okay. No, that's actually a pretty good point there, Lord Doom. And I think even Jerry would agree to that as well. It's probably going to be in this direction, too. Oh, man. Which, speaking of which, I can't wait to see how Dragon Ball Super Broly actually plays out when it arrives in a couple months. And then in January in the United States. Why did I not even see this chest before?
Oh, that treasure chest looks really nice.
A floral bottle. Is that horse still over here again? Or did it just take off? It probably just took off. I hope Toriyama fixes Broly. Well, he should. Because with Toriyama, he actually does have full reins to reinvent the character as he sees fit. So I wouldn't even put it past him there, Lord Doom. But it just makes me wonder, how the heck is that guy going to be a lot bigger threat than Jiren is in the Tournament of Power? Because Jiren was already way too hard enough for Goku to beat on his own, even with the full power of Ultra Instinct. So it's like, how is it that both Goku and Vegeta are going to be able to defeat him? I mean, obviously, Ultra Instinct, the full power of Ultra Instinct Goku is not going to be able to win against Broly on his own, so he's probably going to have to fuse with Vegeta either naturally or use the Potara earrings to become Vegito or do Gogeta, and then that way Vegeta can also learn Ultra Instinct on his own too. Because if you take a look at the key visual from not too long ago with Dragon Ball Super, you can actually see that Vegeta, even though he learned about it in the manga much earlier, but in the anime form, he actually has super. He actually has the ability of Super Saiyan God. Okay, I don't see that baby foal anywhere else inside this place, so something tells me it probably went back. I would have to assume it went back to the Nord Highlands. Or it's probably going to make its way back to the campment area. So let's go to Lacrima. He was out somewhere training and it got stronger on some such thing. Well, it could be. Well, one of the artists said he was practicing drawing Gogeta, and data miners found out that the Broly expansion from Xenoverse 2 is giving us not only a new Broly, but a new Gogeta as well. Bah. Okay, so he hasn't made it back to the settlement yet. Okay, so he's still somewhere within this place? We lost sight of him. You figure he would be somewhere around here, since he turned back in this direction. Yep, so looks like Gogeta, you know, if data miners found out about that in Xenoverse 2, so you might see Gogeta Blue or Ultra Instinct Gogeta. Yeah, if anything, it's probably going to be Ultra Instinct Gogeta, because with the combined forces of Goku and Vegeta fuse, where their powers are actually a lot bigger than normal, and having Ultra Instinct, that's probably going to be their trump card to actually beat Broly once and for all. I mean, theory-wise. Where is that foolish horse? Or that foolish foal at? Seemed like it turned its back and went that way, but then again, it probably went this way. Nope. It would have gone the way of the Cavalry Republic, so he wouldn't be there. And it wouldn't be here, too. Dang horse. Let's take a look. I get the impression he's deep in the northeast, but he ran away. I get the impression he's gone quite a distance, too. Well, if anything, he probably... Oh, geez, I don't even know where he could be. And I didn't even see him on our way up towards the shrine that we're about to go up against. Okay, so if he's gone off a great distance, then he's probably in the Nord Highlands North section. He's probably not that too far off, too. It's like we're playing we're definitely playing a game of cat and mouse here, and it's really getting to the point where this is getting kind of ridiculous trying to go after it. It didn't make its way towards over here, did it? I highly doubt it. If it made its way over here, then that's quite a place for it to hide out. Honestly. Looks like we caught our eyes on the foal. You figure it would be hiding out right here, but that's not the... Yep, that's not it. Yep, and I really thought it would have been here too. So, it's probably somewhere within the north part of the Highlands. Possibly. So we're just gonna have to do a bit of searching around these, this northern part, because, if anything, the foal ran back in the direction which we came from. But if it did ended up near that shrine, then I'm gonna say that was pretty jerkish of what Nihon Falcom did right there. But I don't think they would be that too jerkish. But it just doesn't seem very natural that it would run off in this direction on its own. But either way, anything could be possible. And where does that way go? Okay, in the mountains. So that doesn't go that way. Oh well, it was at least worth a look. I wish I could check out GameFAQs right now, but I'm trying my best not to do it that much while doing this live stream session. I was gonna say if the foal made its way back towards the campment area, but it doesn't look like it did. Yeah, it doesn't look like it did. Which is a shame, too. You figure we would find it out here since it, you know, took off on us all of a sudden. No, we're gonna check the northeast again. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Gotta be a place where, you know, we haven't even checked, where it'd just be easy to find. Boy, this is really... I wouldn't say aggravating, but it's just kind of ridiculous where this is leading us right now. Yeah, it's not back at that place where we first found it. Yeah, it's not around that wall area. You figure it would be, but nope. Nothing like that. Come here, horsey, horsey, horsey. If anything, we'll probably have to go closer to the shrine, because that's probably where it might have ran off to. Because I'm not seeing it around here. And it looked like that'd be a bit too obvious for it to run in that direction. Or run back the way we came. So it probably is deeper. I mean, even if a foal starts running, you figure that your first instinct would be run after it to catch up with it. I mean, you would think so at least, right?
That one looks nasty. Try to be careful, everyone.
We don't even have to worry about that one. Hmm. Yeah, not there either, so... Since we can't find the foal right now, I assume we're gonna need to go... I assume that our next destination is actually gonna be near that old... near that shrine that's really catching my eye, right up there. And if that's where the foal went to, then I'll be like, you gotta be kidding me. Nope, it didn't come this way, so it must be in the northern part of the Highlands. Huh? What's this? I honestly don't know. I've never seen it before, nor have I ever heard anyone talk about it. Really? It's kind of hard to believe there's a place in the Highlands you don't know about, Gaius. Whoa, talk about crazy. Come to think of it, it looks just like the old rune we saw on Gorelia Byroad. Are they related by any chance, Celine? Maybe. It wouldn't hurt to stop by here. It'll be a good test of strength if nothing else. Well, that's foreboding. Sounds like we should be ready for battle before we go inside. Okay. So that dang horse did take off on us. Stupid foal. But if anything... I mean, we could go... I mean, we'll get easy access to the Arya Shrine from here, but, let's just look around these parts, because hopefully the foal is actually within this northern settlement somewhere. I mean, we didn't see it in the northeast part, so it's got to be somewhere around the north area, at least. And if we can find it, then that makes things a lot easier for all of us. Could it be at the former encampment site? If it is, then... yeah, that won't bode well for the foal. What a foal beast! I was gonna say fell or foul beast, but obviously that joke didn't even catch through to a lot of people. When the character said, well, that's foreboding, I had the exact same thought. Yeah. Elliot. Yeah, Elliot's actually a pretty good character. I mean, I would say a lot of the characters are really darn good in the story. They all brim with such great personality. So if you have not even played this Lord Doom, I highly recommend that you pick it up either on the PS3 or the PC through Steam, or if you even have the PlayStation Vita, definitely pick that up too. Whichever version you decide to go with. Well, I don't see it around there. But we will go into Arya Shrine very shortly. But seeing as how I'm not getting any leads from the rest of this area, or from the rest of the northeast area, this seems like it's the only logical place where it might be hanging out at. And we even checked near the entrance of Lake Lacrima, but we just didn't see it there either. Or it could be back at the camp settlement. We just don't know. And as you can see, I'm sprinting as fast as I can, so that way, you know, we can keep going without just taking the normal speed for the horses. And of course, the more I'm doing this, the more vibe of either Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess you're getting out of this, or maybe even something like Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I don't even see that wascally horse anywhere. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting foals. I love doing Looney Tunes impressions here and there. But it just doesn't seem natural for, like, some of those things in American animation to actually make its way to Japanese animation. It just doesn't seem like it would fit well, if you know what I'm talking about.
Nasty. Try to be careful, everyone.
Yeah, we'll worry about it soon enough, but, we're looking for a baby foal, which we haven't even seen in these parts either. Don't tell me it's near the encampment area. It can't be. What's wrong, Reen? Oh, nothing. I just sensed something. Now that you mention it, I wonder if it could be... We should have a look around just in case. Could it be the foal that we were looking for? If it is, then I guess this game really did want us to come here. Because it must have thought this was its... Yes, there it is! We made perfect timing to come over here and find the foal. Man. I really thought that we were going to trigger the next event of this game going forward, but luckily that wasn't the case. There he is! What could he be doing here? If he's trying to scavenge for leftover food? This was where his mother used to feed. I wonder if... He's sniffing something. Maybe he misses his mother's scent. That makes sense. He's been all alone since he got lost, after all. Maybe now he'll believe that we aren't his enemies. I think you guys are right. Two of the horses we came here riding are closely related to him. I'll bring them over to see if they can convince him to come with us. Alright, thanks, Gaius. And that foal has got some hair standing up from behind, so either it's freezing or its hair standing up because it feels threatened. You know, like a dog. There. That's right. Winnie! Woohoo! It worked! Nice. Let's get him back to the settlement. I can't believe you really found him. Thank you. We were just glad we were able to. He looks really happy to be back with his mother again. It was a lot more of an ordeal than I was expecting, but at least the little guy's back home now. A good win must have granted us success. You must have blessed me by bringing you here today, too. I can't let you go away empty-handed after finding him for me, though. Please, take these. Ah, some ingredients. More ingredients. Thanks, we'll make good use of them. Take good care of him, okay? Will do. He doesn't seem hurt, and his hooves look okay, too. You've been out there in the wild for a while now, though, so let's get you all nice and clean. What? Oh, no. Hey, where are you going? Wait! Ah, there he goes again. Looks like getting him back here hasn't made him any less of a troublemaker. He's a sprightly little thing, huh? Hopefully he'll settle down eventually. For poor Sheeta's sake. And as I said, from the first game, Sheeta? That's not the same name of the name of Marth's love interest in the original Fire Emblem, is it? But of course her name was pronounced as C-A-E-D-A for Sheeta, and that's how she was named in Fire Emblem Heroes on the smartphones. And of course, Shirami Lei plays that character too. But yes, we finally got through with that side quest, so it's time for us to actually take a look at that shrine within the northeastern part of the Nord Highlands. So let's go check it out. Dismount. And we quick jumped over here. And probably the Arya Shrine is going to be our last place we're going to visit tonight, guys. So we did make a lot of progress for this episode, so we might as well go ahead and end it off here by taking a look at what's inside these ruins. Definitely reminds me of episode 4 when we met up with Elliot and Fee.
Where are we? This place is so weird. Well, if you're gonna walk around, try not to get yourselves killed.
Oh, we won't try to. Trust us, Celine. We want to explore what's inside this place, like in that other shrine we were at. And notice that you can see the spiritual pressure from the air, because the higher elements, or the higher Sepith elements, are actually in effect here at this location. Let's burst them. Burst them hard. Nice critical. Oh, overkill to the max. Triple kill.
This is our real power.
2.4 times experience. We do want to take care of that, you know, hitting the enemies quite a lot to actually get that total experience counter to multiply well, because that's the only way we're going to be able to grind that quickly in this game. No kill like overkill. I would say, Lord Doom, no kill like killing spree if, you know, if you're big into Halo in the multiplayer, which I'm not, by the way, but, you know, I know there's a lot of people that are, but I'm not one of those people, as that series is not my cup of tea. If anything, 16-bit Jeff would probably be more into that than I am. But it is awesome that you get to do overkill on enemies like these, and that definitely reminds me of Final Fantasy X when you actually, you know, overkill enemies quite immensely, and you actually get bonus experience points, or, you know, SP for the sphere grid. I was at one point very early on, not anymore though. Yeah, I mean, the only Halo game that I've ever beaten was the first one, and that's because I actually had the game on the PC. Yeah, I actually bought the PC version, but that's one game that, you know, I haven't really gone back to ever since.
It's my turn.
Calamity Hawk them. Go, Kaiji Tang! Give good sound to your character Gaius!
No problem.
An Emerald Ooze G. Another Ooze character. Sorry, but your name's not Ivan Ooze, so don't even bother saying that you're an Ooze monster. Crap.
Now's our chance.
It's gonna heal itself again. I know it. Yep. This is not cool.
Gotcha. No problem.
All right.
That'll actually be good for us. I mean, I'm not really that big into FPS games anymore, if you ask me. I mean, the only one that I really enjoyed in this day and age right now is Doom 2016, and I'm really looking forward to Doom Eternals that's coming out on the PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC in the future. Got it. Oh, you mean Power Rangers the movie? I think there's some things that hold up, but
Impressive as always, Gaius.
Not feeling too winded, are you?
But if you ask me, that movie doesn't hold up well in terms of the CGI. That CGI in that movie looked terrible. But thankfully its sequel, Power Rangers Turbo, the movie, actually did better with the CG, if you ask me. Or the CGI. But of course, whenever I think of Power Rangers movie and Ivan Ooze, I always think of his infamous quote, "Oh, where's my autograph book?" Alright, cheer and cover. Okay, cool beans. Kind of really anxious to see how Hasbro's going to take the Power Rangers brand going forward. And see if it'll actually do well in the future. Now that Hasbro has the rights on them. And I think even IDW has the comics rights to them, if I'm not mistaken.
This is our real power.
It seems like a lot of famous properties that we grew up with, they're actually going to IDW, which I have no problem with. I mean, one of my favorite IDW comic series of all time is the Ninja Turtles one that Kevin Eastman worked on, and yeah, that comic book series is still phenomenal. I mean, it may be kind of lagging now because, you know, seeing as how the Shredder is dead and all, but I'd say it still is not too bad as of right now, mind you, but of course you'd have to be the judge for yourself to determine whether or not if something like that still holds up or not. How about you do a Geigen Breaker on them, just to put the smack down on their candy bottoms. And if you ask me about Saban's Power Rangers, the movie there, Lord Doom, there definitely seemed to be some good ideas in place, but I think the main problem with what held it back for me was that it relied too much on nostalgia for one, and like some of the silly things like finding the whatever it is that Rita Repulsa was looking for, that thing to make her become all stronger and almighty was at the Krispy Kreme store, and she just referred to it as the Krispy Kreme. Yeah, I found that to be a bit too cheesy in that regard. It's like, really? You're gonna go for that cheese factor?
I'm up.
Ouch. Thanks for the cheer.
I can do this.
Ooh, you're stoned. Or you're petrified, at least. So, let's heal that petrification. Where's that petrification? Oh, yes. The softening ointment.
Thanks.
There we go.
Ready to go.
Yep, it came back. That's the thing that I really don't like about the Vanish ability, is that even though you can actually manage to get in a good butt whooping on it, they will actually come back.
Yes, sir.
How could you miss again? That's twice you missed there, Milliam.
Let's move.
Reen! 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 Why?
Ready to go.
Ugh, man. It's driving me nuts. Don't miss. Thank you! This is what you should have been doing ever since you began that fight. Reen, what are you doing, man?
We did it, Elisa.
We really do make a great team.
Alright, we got Toval to 62, and won't be long until Lisa gets to 63, as well as Elliot and Machias getting to 62 themselves, along with Reen.
Looking good.
Alright. Looking good indeed.
Treasure chest looks really nice.
Ariel inside the chest. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and equip some of the characters' orbments, see if they have anything that's really good. Oh, Chrono Drive R, and it gives, some speed plus 25% and movement by 25%. That increases our speed by 4 points. Speeds up the flow of time for targeted allies. Okay. I think that'll actually work. Heatwave R. Actually, how about you give the heat... No, that's not gonna work. I really don't even need tier for Reen, so I'll just give him this. But I will give you seal, so that way, you know, you can use that. Give you some more movement. How about I give you tier? And how about I give you... Well, you can't learn Harvest because that's a... You know, that is a level 2 type of quartz on you that you would need to use. Okay, I think this will be good for now. Okay. Go back whence we came and move forward even further. New material. Okay, yeah, we came through there, so we just need to go down the ladder here. When they go down ladders, they really need to jump off ladders, or at least give the ability to where they can slide off ladders like Link in Twilight Princess or something. That'd make it all the more easier, if you ask me. Okay, that opens up that path.
Now's our chance. Let's get him. Let's move.
Do a rebellion storm on them there, won't you, Toval? But we will be using them for the boss inside of this dungeon when we get to it.
Sorry, that's it for you.
Alright, 2 times experience for us on there. Oh, very good. Our characters who were supposed to level up, they actually got the level ups they need.
Great.
Nice.
Huh? Thank goodness.
I did it!
Yes.
Very nice. Oh, I just love it whenever I see level ups occur. Oh, ever so satisfying. How about in this direction? Does that give us access to anything in this? Yes. Actually, it's a good thing that we came here, because honestly, this probably would have been bad if we didn't even take that precaution.
Let's move.
Yes.
Now's our chance.
Gotcha.
I can do this.
Man, I'm gonna be really sad when this session is over, because I really do enjoy playing these games with everybody who's in attendance and all.
We really do make a great team.
Very nice. We got guys to 63. Now Milliam needs to get to 63.
No complaints here.
All right, you're above the threshold of 10,000 hit points, Gaius. All right, we got sleep in there. And another thing out of the pot, Earth Sepith times 20. And seeing as we have enough Sepith now, we should be able to upgrade more of our characters' ornament slots to where they can actually have the ability to get stronger ornaments and all. We can actually lift that. That'll create a path up there for us. And I guess getting access to that path, that'll actually make it easier for us to get up there. Yep, some of the things that we're experiencing here, we actually can actually get back to. Oh yeah, there's that treasure chest. I didn't grab this. Water Sepith. Oh, yeah. That actually takes us in that direction, but we can go this way. Oh. We got attacked by... What are these? Bees! Solar bees! A bee? A bee indeed. If anything, why did I not see that coming? Hey, we got it unconscious, so good. Gotcha, finally. That's what you get, you jerk.
Lisa.
We really do make a great team.
Alright, we got Milliam to 63 now.
Look at me go!
Look at you go, girl! Woohoo! Oh, you know what? You know what? We're gonna make a quick detour backwards, because I actually do want to get that treasure chest. Every time when I go in places like this, I want to make sure I leave no nook and cranny unturned. And I think it's this one. Yes. That's the one I want to, unhinge. Yes. Now, if we head back, then we should be able to take on that monster chest. And with that monster chest, we can actually fight off against the onslaught of monsters that are in there. But truth be told, we'll probably have to end up using somebody's. But then again, I wonder if we could try to pull it off by getting everybody to do the ability of where we can,
Chest looks really nice.
you know, attack them all at once. Probably not, but it is worth a shot. Let's try it. Man! There, look at that! We got them all in one fell swoop. Oh, we are Vanquisher, pieces of 8! And we got an achievement out of that for defeating them all up at once. Oh, wow, that was awesome! Oh, so cool! I love it! Got the Criminal Master Quartz. Yeah, now that's what I like to call skills. Criminal. It seems like it does well in terms of arts and stuff, but if anything, I'm probably just going to stick with Force for Reen. And we got 200 Sepith Mass, so that's some more Sepith Mass we can turn back in for a profit. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can upgrade our slots a little bit for some of our characters. And that is a yes. For some, at least. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to upgrade the slots of any of the other characters, as we pretty much wasted it all on a vast majority of them that needed to get their slots upgraded to which ones that needed the most attention. Yeah. Yep, can't be upgraded further. Yep, so it's all just crapshoot from here on out with upgrading their slots and all. Anyway, rest up, and we got ourselves a boss to fight in this place. And I can hear my dogs barking at me and saying, "Hey, let us in, let us in." Well, we'll let them in as soon as we get done with this boss fight coming up. Yep, 3 more of these things. 3 more son of sons or son of a guns. And they're all green. And if you don't know what the son of a guns or son of sons are, and if you haven't played Chrono Trigger, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And Chrono Cross and Lord Doom, I remember you were vehemently not a fan of Chrono Cross, and I remember how just, you know, you raising your vocal points with just how much you despise that game. It was actually pretty fun to actually, you know, voice your opinion about it.
I'm up.
Judgment Arrow, then.
This is my favorite weapon. Marching order energy.
Yeah, these bosses are just easy peasy lemon squeezy. They're hardly a match as we're using our S-crafts on them like they're nothing. They're nothing. They're nothing. Nada. Zip. Nothing. Man. Seems like this game is a bit more forgiving than the first one. And even that's giving it too much credit.
Don't mess with us.
Yeah, we did get some experience for everybody to level up there too, so I'm happy.
I did it.
Nice.
Looking good.
Looking good.
Huh? Thank goodness. I'm awesome.
Everybody is.
No complaints here.
I've got it.
Yes.
Alright, very good. Nice little eye candy that we saw there. Whew, that was tough. I think that's the last of them. Just what were they, though? They put up quite a fight. I wish I knew. This door looks similar to the one under the old schoolhouse, too. What is on the other side of it? Well, this is about as far as we can go. This door doesn't seem to want to open either. We might as well leave for today. Agreed. We have plenty on our plate to take care of even without what's on the other side of this. Let's get going then. Now Reen's gonna see a vision in his memories. Yep. Another vision from, Emperor Dreikel's. Are you certain this is what you want? This land I will be traveling to is one of chaos, war, and bloodshed. If you come with me, you may never be able to return to this beautiful place you call home ever again. And yet you would still choose to stay with me? Our answer will never change no matter how many times you ask. You are family to us now, a brother who loves this land of Nord as we do. Family needs no reason to help one another, nor do they seek anything in return. We shall go wherever the winds and the goddess guide us, and now that is with you. You have my thanks. So, yep, this is where Emperor Dreikel's and Erebonia's history managed to forge a pact and become a great neighbor to the land of Nord, or the Nord Highlands, where that bond still holds strong between both the country of Erebonia and the Nord Highlands to this day, which they explained in the first Trails of Cold Steel, by the way. I am proud to count each and every one of you among my friends. That nice opera music that went along with it, it just fits the mood really well, if you ask me. It happened again. It's not a hallucination. It felt more like I was watching someone's... Well, now it isn't the time to be worrying about it. This isn't the time to figure it out. I better put it out of my mind for now. AP increased by 3, as we already completed the old schoolhouse. Alright, so that takes care of that, and let's head on out of the Arya Shrine, and then we'll finally end off this episode for you guys, because I do need to get to bed, and I do need to go to work tomorrow morning. And it's just only for a few hours. So this will be a great place for us to get a good stop in for tonight. And yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun too, and we definitely got in a lot of grinding there, and definitely made up for it too in great spades. So there we go, we got everything saved there, so let's go ahead and exit the game, and I'll finally give you some final pointers before I log off for the night. So, anyway guys, I hope you really enjoyed that live stream as much as I did, and it was definitely a lot of fun, and I definitely want to thank you all for joining me out here tonight. That was definitely a great time that I had, and thank you very much, Lord Doom, for chatting with me in the chat. Actually, I had a lot of fun with chatting with you tonight, as much as I chatted with you, as well as you chatting with me and Fighter Kaus when we were playing El Shaddai earlier. So you've been a great audience today, man. But anyway, guys, if you like what you see, then be sure to hit that follow button right above the video player, so that way you're notified of whenever I go live with my live streams. And since I am a Twitch affiliate, if you want to subscribe to me for my my Twitch emotes and that kind of stuff, you can also do that. If you have Twitch Prime, then you can at least get the first tier for free, and you can upgrade to tier 2 of my emotes for $9.99, or you can upgrade to all 3 of my emotes to $24.99 if you want to do that, if you want to subscribe. But if you just want to follow me for now, just hit that follow button right above the video player. Also, be sure to follow me on youtube.com/RRPGReviews as I work with my created content on that website. And I also have my social media feeds, which all of you who have not followed me on my social media feeds need to follow me on them right now, which are facebook.com/RRPGReviews, as well as twitter.com/RRPGReviews. So that way you're notified of whenever I go live with my live streams, or if I have any announcements in regards to my live streams, whether if I'm going early or if I'm going to end up being delayed, you'll be able to get your news from me coming from there wholeheartedly. And also, you can follow me through the Geek Fighters with our own Twitch page. It's a collaboration group I do with Fighter Chaos and 16-Bit Jeff on a weekly basis during Saturdays, where we play games and we, talk about the good things and riff on the bad things and that kind of stuff. So be sure to follow us there, twitch.tv/thegeekfighters. And you can also follow us, or you can follow both Fighter Chaos and 16-Bit Jeff with their own individual Twitch pages, which are twitch.tv/fighterchaos and twitch.tv/16-Bit Jeff. And you can also follow us on Discord as well, so that way you can stay up to date with our social media feeds through our Discord page, and you can also mingle with us, as we do like to chat with a lot of you, and we do a lot of fun stuff like the whole streams when it comes to like E3 and even the Game Awards and all that other stuff, and maybe even the PlayStation Experience, if Sony is doing one this year, but we're not even sure at this point. Probably not, seeing as we haven't even heard anything from them, but that could change. So yeah, be sure to follow us there, and I will definitely have a link in the page here, or the in the chat here, so that way you can actually come to our Twitch page if you want to. But anyway, I'm just putting my social media feeds as well as my YouTube feed and that kind of stuff on here, so that way you can actually go on there and you can actually follow us from there as well. But anyway, coming up for me, if I do decide to stream tomorrow, it'll probably be me returning to Street Fighter Alpha 3, or I could be going into Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or even Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo if I wanted to, but I haven't even decided on that. But if I don't decide to stream tomorrow morning, then I'm probably going to be streaming probably stream either some more Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, or I will immediately get started with Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, or anything could be possible what I decide next. So whatever I decide to do next, you will all know from me what I will do next on my social media feeds, which I wholeheartedly explain that you do need to follow me on both those pages, so that way you're up to date on everything that comes from me. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say for that matter. So I really do appreciate you all joining me for this live stream tonight, and I definitely had a lot of fun with you all. And I just want to end off by saying to you all, you have yourselves a very good morning, a very good afternoon, or most of all, a very good evening. But for the most part, you all have yourselves a very fantastic day. So this is Double RPG signing off by saying Godspeed and game on, gamers. Peace out!